Listening to the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
Moody played well yesterday. That was encouraging. Maybe he'll get more minutes in game number 3. Played 8 minutes and 28 seconds. First guy off the bench with Draymond Green got into foul trouble yesterday in the third quarter, and he played well. I'm proud of Moses Moody. A lot of maturity there. 5 rebounds, hustled, 2 of 3 from the floor, 4 points. I liked his energy yesterday, so that's encouraging. There's a positive, folks. Let's lean on that.
How random were those minutes? Because I was shocked.
Very shocking. We're giving away tickets to game number 4. You can listen to us between 7:30 a.m. and 8 tomorrow as we give one lucky listener a chance to win a pair of tickets to game number 3. That's tomorrow, game number 4, my bad. Game 4, Sunday, 12:30. That's tomorrow between 7:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. We're giving away a pair of tickets to game number 4. And as always, get your playoff tickets at Warriors.com. The only place to get tickets that are 100% guaranteed. Guaranteed, not to be fraudulent. Your chance to go to Game 4 is brought to you by the Next Generation 10G Network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. The Warriors have never been down to 0-2 with Stephen Curry, with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. A lot of adversity. How will they bounce back? Let's hear Klay Thompson on bouncing back.
Well, Jordan's playing with like half a foot right now, so I was just proud of his resilience. And I know JK and Dante will have big games for us. Everyone's going to. Luckily, it's first to 4. It's not the old format where it's first to 3. That would be not so much fun, but we all have off nights. I've had bad shooting nights in the first round, in the finals, in the Olympics, so I just love those guys, and I know they'll bounce back. We have great opportunity ahead of us. I know we're going to right the ship.
Warriors are now 30-11. 30-11 when following a loss in the playoffs, 30-11. Also, they're now 24-9 under Steve Kerr following a playoff loss. They're 0-2 for the first time under Steve Kerr. And we bring in Uncle Coles from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm sure he's enjoying what he's watching up in the 916. So, Coles, I don't even know why we booked you today. I really don't. I'm not in the mood. But, Uncle Coles, it's good to see you. Your hair looks messed up, but you know what? What's up, Uncle Coles? How you doing?
Oh, what's going on, boys? What's the word? My hair. That's how I look now. That's my new look. It's the frazzled, on the go look.
Well, let's start with the Draymond Green Sabonis wrestling match. They obviously were going at it.
Well, let me jump in. Can I jump in? Is Draymond out of jail yet for the crime he committed in front of 17,000, 18,000, and millions more on TV? Have they posted bail? Has Joe Lacob posted bail yet on what Draymond Green?
Like a lot of things in America, the first offender never gets caught, right? I mean, guys out here ankle locking like Kurt Angle, but let's ignore that one. Let's ignore that. Poor Sabonis.
Awesome reference.
Poor Sabonis trying to protect himself. Let me snap somebody's ankle in half first, and let's not, like America, you get away the first. It's like we see it in football all the time. The first guy who commits it never gets caught. Let's go straight to Draymond Green.
Poor Sabonis was protecting himself from Draymond's awkwardness, and we've seen fake tough guy Draymond Green do this for years. He did it to Steven Adams when he gave him a junk kick, and then when he saw him in the hallway after the game, he turtled up like a 6th grade girl looking at the boy she has a crush on in 8th grade as they walk by one another. Draymond is fake tough. I don't think the league has the guts to suspend him for a game.
Oh, so wait a minute. Wait. So you think he should be suspended for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course you do.
A lot of it has to do with past crime.
Not shocking.
Right?
Dude, why we book Cole's name, man? Why we book? Go ahead, Shasky.
He is a repeat offender, Shasky. You know it. Joe set him straight.
Well, no,
Coach, you never played pickup basketball. You ever have somebody grab your ankle?
It's not supposed to land. It's not
Where's he supposed to land? You grabbing the ankle? Or he should have stepped on Sabonis' neck for all the flopping he was doing yesterday. That's what should have happened. You want to be a fake tough guy and roll around on the ground for 5 minutes, and then next thing you know, you play the final 7:03, you're pushing off on Looney and everybody else, and then you're in your Prada jacket after the game talking about, it's just playoff basketball. I didn't know what to do, so I had to protect myself. So let me grab an ankle and hug it. Oh, come on.
Let me tell you, we're talking about the wrong thing. Here's where the series turned. It was back in game 1. Steph hits the big shot to put Golden State up 114, 112, 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. At that point, and you tell me if I'm wrong, we're all sitting down and we're all thinking the same thing. Oh, that's right. They're the Dubs and the Kings are the Kangs. This is where Golden State steps on the gas. They run away from Sacramento. They teach them a lesson in game 1, and they finish this thing in about 5. But you know what? Father Time was standing in the tunnel, and the Golden State Warriors are starting to see that no one's afraid of them anymore. That's where this series turned, when the Warriors had the game in their grasp with 4 minutes to go and couldn't close it, and the Kangs of all teams were not afraid of them. And then it just carried on to game 2, and the frustration of Draymond is going to play out. I know the Warriors look like they're cool cucumbers right now, but I think they know. Guys, next week when we're on, we can start talking about who the Warriors are going to take in the mid-first round. Okay, how does that sound?
I don't even. Do they even have their first-round draft pick?
19th overall.
19th. Oh, well, good to know. Coz, when you've been watching this Warrior team for a long time, you've obviously been watching the Kings. What's the biggest difference, just from your eyes? Obviously, there's personnel differences, but what's the biggest difference from the old version of the Warriors to this year's version?
Well, I think a lot of it is the wear and tear of what the excellence of the Warriors has been. Let's not underestimate the fact that they have been so amazingly brilliant for an extended period of time. That there are times during the year where they're not their sharpest, knowing that they plan on playing into June. They don't plan on playing through the middle of April. So there are times in the season where things go awry. They had the issue with Wiggins, which is unfortunate, horribly unfortunate. Nobody wishes anything bad on anybody. But I think the Warriors had to go through an uneven season. And at this phase of their lives, the big three have spent so much time on the court. Their bodies have been so physically utilized. And I don't mean beat up. I don't mean anybody's pounding on them, although you can make that argument.
Right.
Shoot, it's the Kings are going to the free throw line like crazy right now. They're getting physical. The Kings are playing really well.
They are.
But I do think a lot of it is the natural wear and tear that happens. And we're seeing what happened to the Detroit Pistons after they won their 2 and the Bulls finally broke through, or what happened to the Celtics before the Pistons broke through. You guys are young. You don't know these references.
Oh, no, I know. Hey, listen, I was referencing.
No, you don't know it.
No, hold on, Uncle Coles.
Years ago.
Listen, I had to check a couple years ago when the Warriors won the championship. You said they were finishing in 7th place. We know how that season ended. I referenced Malik Monk on Warriors pre- and post-game live yesterday, and I said, and I told the kids yesterday, educating our roasters, Vinny Johnson, the microwave. That's who Malik Monk reminds me of right now. Instant offense. How you like that pull? Huh? How about Mark McGuire, midseason deal?
Credit for that one.
Huh? Adrian Dantley for Mark McGuire, Coles. Come on, man. You know I'm a history buff.
Yeah, that is solid work right there. And for those people who don't know the players that Bonte's talking about, those are 2 really good pulls. And I got to be honest with you. When you look at the season, if you followed the Kings only through social media this season, you thought they had won 65 games and were one of the most dominant forces in the history of the game. At the end of 82 games, they had 48 wins and the Warriors had 44 wins. And you think the Warriors were having all kinds of problems all season long. There was only a 4-game difference. And if I'm not mistaken, Joe, the season after We Believe, remember that Warriors season after We Believe?
They won 48 and didn't make the playoffs, and Baron Davis missed a 4th to last game because of a birthday party in L.A. with Kate Hudson.
Can I hug you? Can I fly back to the Bay Area and give you a hug? I'm trying to tell people 48 wins is not exactly a panacea for everybody. But in Sacramento, it's the greatest thing they've had in 17 years. So they were acting like it was a 65-win team. Man, I'll tell you something. I was wondering what would hit them when the playoffs started, because the Warriors understand the playoffs. The Kings certainly do not understand it. They're one of those teams that's so dumb they don't know what they don't know. And I don't mean that as a negative. I'm not using a pejorative. I'm just saying they don't know what they don't know. So they're going out there, to the wall, and they're playing with one of the greatest organizations that's ever been put together. I think you got to give the Kings credit.
Uncle Coles, aren't you a Michigan State guy?
Well, I went there, but I will not root for them for a number of reasons.
Well, oh, really? The scandal?
I graduated from that. I shouldn't say I went there. I graduated from there. I won't, because of the way their school team doctor handled the.
Yeah, that was nasty. Situation. Yeah, that was. So disgusting.
I have a hard time morally doing it, and they've recently done something else that I just got my Spartan Strong shirt. I swear to you, I was back on board, but they've recently done something equally as stupid. And so I can't revert.
And yet you're selling out. Yet you're selling out a guy who donated a boatload of money to the athletic facilities up there at Michigan State. Right on brand, Uncle Coles. Right on brand. Listen, I will say this though. You're right. The Kings have been faster to the ball. They've been more physical. They're taking the Warriors out of all their half-court sets. They're pressing Curry 94 feet. I mean, the Warriors have committed 41 turnovers, and 37 turnovers in the first 2 games. That's been an issue all year for them. They're the worst team in the league when it comes to taking care of the ball. And the Kings, they're 9th in the league, and they took care of the ball in the second half after having a hairy first half. So the Kings do get credit. They've been a better team for the first 2 games, and De'Aaron Fox has been the best player in the series.
Yeah. It's been great to see from the Kings' perspective because they've thirsted for this for so many years. Joe, I saw you tweeting last night as the game started. The energy was coming through the television set.
It's unreal.
The sounds of that crowd, because we've all gone back and rewatched or re-listened to that play with Sabonis and Draymond Green. And if you just listen to the crowd, you would think it's game 6 or 7 of the Western Conference Final. Yeah. And it's game 2 of the first round. They have thirsted for a long time, and I do think the fans have responded. The team has used that energy. They've used that home court advantage. But the game changes now as they turn around and they come back to Chase Center. I'll be intrigued to see. I do not believe that Draymond's going to get suspended a game.
You should.
And I'll be honest with you. 90 miles from where you guys are sitting, they're still worried about the NBA saying, I'd rather see the Lakers and the Warriors in the playoffs deeper than I'd rather see Memphis and the Kings. They're seriously doubting whether or not the league is going to tip the scales against them.
That's a joke because they've been getting on me about the inconsistencies of the whistle yesterday. And I haven't blamed the referees. Kings were better last night. But I thought the referees lost control of that game early and often. Zach Zarber and Courtney Kirkland was atrocious yesterday. By far one of the worst crews I've seen all season long. So I don't want to hear Kings fans saying, we're worried about the referees. They've gotten the benefit of the doubt in the first 2 games.
Well, and you know what happens in the NBA, Bonte? You've been watching it closely enough for a long time. I think it evens out. I think the next game for certain. But if they, you know what? I believe in what the Warriors have said. You win 4 titles in the span that they did, and now have 5 as an organization, and these guys have been through the thick of it. I do believe they sit home, and what Steph said. He said, listen, there's a saying. The series doesn't start until a road team gets a win. And all the Warriors have to do is win games at home, and now it's a 3-game series. And you mean to tell me anyone is going to put money on the Kings, who are only 4 wins better than a Warrior team that had so much to go through in the regular season? If the Warriors make it a 3-game series, you the 3 of us might have a discussion, Joe. And honest to God, we might be sitting here saying, "How quick can the Warriors get this done?"
All right, so how does the series end? How does the series end, Coles?
Yeah,
how does it end?
I think right now the Kings win in 5.
Kings in 5. I mean,
it
feels very bleak for the Warriors. And just going off these 2 games, they've scored more bench points. They've scored more in the paint. They have gotten to the free throw line more and scored more free throws. They have more fast break points. Like, they're winning in a lot of key categories right now. And then just they pass the eyeball test. Like, I sometimes I feel like we overrate certain things with the data. The eyeball test tells me they're the younger, more locked down, hungrier, physical team that can get to their spots offensively. It doesn't mean it can't change, but right now it's been all Kings through 2 games.
Yeah. It has been, and I want to see how they respond to that. Do they come back in game 3, and do they say we can play with these guys, or do they get overwhelmed by what happens at Chase Center? Yep. I listen. I was on a station in Sacramento prior to the series starting, and I said the real advantage the Kings have is that this is their first round series in 17 years. The fans have 17 years of pent up energy. And they had better use it because it can sway the way the game is played, the way it's called. And I think I agree with you, Bonte, the way the officials call it, the way the fans can alter the game. And you're not going to get in the head of Steph Curry, but you are going to energize De'Aaron Fox. And they did exactly that. And the advantage is Warrior fans, they're not going to pay attention until they get deep into the second round or into the conference final.
Oh, don't you do that.
First-round games.
Don't do that to Warrior fans, Coles. Come on, Coles, don't do that. You took a lot of calls from Dub Nation. You are not going to come on these airways and try to play my Dub Nation talking about they don't pay attention to the second round. Warrior fans are locked in.
They don't even know when games 3 and 4 are.
Warrior fans are locked in. Warriors fans have been like, Warriors fans kept you in business, Coles, for 10 years. What are you talking about?
Now that you've sold your unbelievable mansion in Danville, do you think you and me could head up a group of investors to buy the San Francisco Giants? What do you think, huh?
We'd have a better shot at buying the A's. they might be a little more affordable. You know what? Hey, let me say something.
Hey,
I know some people, Joe. I know some people. We can get some money together and make a serious bid at the A's. I'm not sure we could do it to the Giants. What happened to the Giants? Didn't they just win 107 games a couple of years ago?
That was a fluke.
That was a mirage.
Hey, Coach, when you flying back out to the 916 to raise that Pacific Division banner?
You know what? That's a good one.
Like that.
Pacific Division banner. That's a shot. I like that.
You like that, Coles?
I am. You know, it's funny. I'm coming back to town.
You know I don't get soft. You know, we got to think, there's Frisco Shasky and San Fran Shasky. Right now we have Sausalito Shasky. He's getting soft on me riding with the 916. So I'm up here as a one-man band in a bunker by myself with the chopper like Arnold Schwarzenegger, a.k.a. Rambo or some Sylvester Stallone, spraying everybody up. So I'm taking shots left and right. Just let me know when you go up there to hang the Pacific Division banner.
It's so funny. I am coming there. I'm coming to Northern California in the next, what's today's date? Today's the 20th? What's today?
No, 420 is on Thursday.
Today's the 18th.
Tell me how I know that one.
420. Look at who's already counting 420 down. Starting early.
A lot of clouds.
Because it's the 20th in New Zealand at that time. I'm coming. I'm actually coming to town in about a week. So
nice.
That series is still going on. I might tap into your guys' resource and come down and see you guys.
Yeah,
I miss you, buddy.
Come see me, Coach.
Come
to the studio.
I miss you and the greatest fans around. The Bay Area fans are there. I know I was teasing them. It's going to be a great series. I hope it goes 7. I hope I'm wrong at Kings in 5. But you guys are so fun. I'm on the app listening to you guys. I absolutely love it. And you're doing great work.
This is why he still has Friedman's commercials on the station.
No wonder.
Right there. Right there. Sell, James.
I learned from Uncle Coles. He knows how to play the game, baby. He knows who butters that bread. You are unbelievable, Coles. Hey, but like you told me, man, Joe Lacob signing my paychecks, right? I know who's cutting the grass. You know what I'm saying?
Boom. You got it, boys.
All right,
I love you guys and miss you guys.
You too,
Have
man.
fun with Justin Fields, man. He looked good last season.
Hey, man. Yep. I will tell you this. He is an amazingly electric athlete who cannot play quarterback. So I will trade you Trey Lance for him straight up.
Oh, wow. That's a shocker. That's shocking.
I know, huh?
You're off the Mac Jones train, huh?
Give me an honest opinion. What do you think of Fields?
I think if you give him some weapons, he could be legit. You got to get him some weapons.
He turns his back to the offense too much running around for my liking.
You got to get him some weapons.
Being honest.
Get him an offensive line and some weapons.
He has the odd ability to both not be able to get through his checkdowns and run too quickly and hold on to the ball too much.
Yeah.
I've never seen one quarterback have those two different problems, and he's got them both.
Yeah. No doubt. All right,
have a good one, Coach.
Enough of you, Uncle Coach. See you later, Jim.
Guys. Take care.
All right, Jim. Take it easy. Jim Kozimor.